Finally, I think I've got it figured out. I talk about how to reach financial freedom, make work completely optional, and how to retire early. And yes, most people have an excuse as to why they can't or why it's too hard, but it is still possible. You can do it. Took me 10 years. I didn't start in a good position. And I retired in 2022. And I didn't retire to do nothing. I retired to do anything. But as I'm trying to share this information with people and help you retire early, here are some of the problems I constantly get. I get people who throw back, first off, I can't retire early because of healthcare. Because of healthcare, I'm going to continue to work 40 to 50 hours a week and destroy my health. I've made several videos on that as to why healthcare is not an issue, it's not a barrier, it's actually pretty easy to solve that problem. So this video is not about healthcare, it's about the other two main problems people talk about. In these two problems people mention, it took me 2 years of retirement to figure this out. The first problem that people say is, I don't want to retire early. I'd be bored. What would I do with my time? I am not retiring to do nothing, although doing nothing is sometimes an option. I am retiring to do anything. And when you retire, think of anything that you can do. I understand that though. Most of us don't understand what we could do in retirement because we're so focused on work. We're so focused on working with those relationships with people at work. A lot of people will say, I can't retire early because of my relationship with everyone I work with. I have a work wife, work best friend, work family. You will call it a family where you work. And so if you retire early, you feel like you're walking away from a family. And I totally get that these are the two main reasons, right? We took out healthcare because I have made several videos on healthcare, on how to fix that problem. Side note, as the tour I'm doing through my unit, this is the closet that I added that is making me another $995 a month. But take out healthcare. Here's how you solve the problem of, I want to retire early, but I don't know how to fill my time. Or I want to retire early, but I would miss my work group of friends, my work wife, my friends that spend a lot of time with me because we work together. Now think about that. If you spend a lot of time with somebody because you work together, are they really your friend? Is it really your family if all of you have to be compensated to be there? Now, I have a sentence. This one sentence is going to be the thing that solves this problem. How you can retire early without feeling like you don't have the ability to fill your time or that you don't miss out on your work family. This one sentence. Okay, so if you're ready to write something down, this is the sentence that solves the retire early problem. I want you to build a life where work is in the way. If you work and you get off work and you are exhausted, and most of us just go home and stare at a computer screen or a TV screen, you're not really getting a lot done. So you would think, this is what retirement would be like. I'd be able to stare at the screen longer. Of course you're not going to want to do that. However, if you build a life where work is in the way, and I'm going to use either myself or my son as an example. Call it in the air. I'm going to use my son. So he works full-time, went to college, got a degree, got a CDL so he could pay off his student loans, because that's how life works. And he enjoys his job. He works a lot and recently changed jobs. And in his off time, for a while, he got into hockey. And recently, he got into rock wall climbing. So getting into hockey was going to hockey games, interacting with other people who like hockey, comparing teams. I don't know if they have a fantasy league like the football, sports ball does, but he was really into it. He got a little practice thing to slide back and forth for with hockey. And then he got into rock wall climbing, and he sends me videos almost every week of the new route that he's learned, the new skill he's added to his repertoire, the group of people that he's hanging out with. Do you have a passion, something like rock wall climbing or hockey? Is it restoring old cars? Is it gardening, literally farming, raising animals, whatever it is, whatever the thing that you would like to do outside of work? Work is in the way for him. He can only go to hockey games when it lines up with his schedule. He can only go rock wall climbing, usually since he works a regular job, when everyone else is there trying to do it too. But if he could figure out how to make work optional like I did, retire early, make it to where you can do anything you want, and money isn't the issue. When you take work out of the way, he is no longer, like most people, looking at his job thinking, I don't know what I would do if I retired early. I'd have so much time, I don't know what to do. He'd be thinking, where are the cool rock climbing places? First, the professional indoor competition climbing stations all throughout the country. Second, the exterior umbelay things that he can't even think about doing now because of the travel time to do something silly like climb a rock wall. But if that's the goal, and it's not the goal to make enough money so you can eat next month, because that's covered, what is your passion that work is in the way of if you don't have something outside of work? Now, let's take it one step further. In the hockey world, there are people like my friend Anna who plays hockey, and I want to go see her play a hockey game. Most people who would like to can't because her games are at 10 o'clock at night, and that messes up their work schedule. Now, for rock wall climbing, my son has a group of people that are encouraging, that are saying, here's the route I did. This is the time it took me to do it. This is the skin missing on my fingers from that thing I learned last week. That's a group of people who can travel with you, who can do these things with you, who can interact with you outside of work. But the time you get with those people is very limited because work is in the way. You have things that you can want to do, entire life experiences. For me, it was travel. I want to spend months in other countries learning a culture, learning a language, sometimes a complete waste of time to learn Thai, and then get there and realize everybody in Thailand speaks American. I don't mean English, I mean American English. Still fun to learn. I wanted to scuba in every ocean. I travel with people who scuba. My son, when he figures out how to retire early, can spend time with a lot of people who are doing things like rock wall climbing. Find that thing in your life that would bring you passion, that involves other people, so that work is in the way, because I guarantee what you haven't thought of is the people that you work with, your work wife. How many have I had? The friends that you spend time with at work because you're both selling your lives 1 hour at a time, 40 to 60 hours a week, and trapped working together like you were in college when you were in the same classes, or in high school when you were in the same classes for a period. You had those friends that disappeared when high school was over, that you don't talk to after college. When you leave your company and you retire early, that work family disappears. You can make work optional. You can retire early. There are many paths to do it. You can start and grow a business. You can invest in stocks. You can buy real estate, have a rental where you get to come out on a weekend and show it to somebody else who's excited and fighting over the ability to rent it from you. I'm half tempted to put like a boxing ring here and say, all right, last one standing. You can invest in crypto. You can find your way to make work optional, but the motivation to do it isn't going to happen if you think you're not going to be able to fill your time because work is the only thing that you can fill your time with, or that your work family is the only people that you're going to want to spend time with. Build a life where work is in the way. For me, this solved the retire early problem. I worked at a company. I loved the people, I loved the job, but time freedom to do those things I want to do with people I haven't even met yet ultimately won out. And my goal is to help you figure out the same thing. Until my next video, thanks for coming to my property tour.